Well, hey, rail fans and model railroaders. Welcome back to another episode of Getting Back on Track with Steve
and Roxy.
Now, last week, we laid track from the Upper Peninsula on the lower loop all the way around to the swing bridge.
So this week, we're going to start up at the top of the peninsula, go around and all the way across the swing bridge to join up with what we've already done.
That's going to be a big milestone for us because that means we've laid complete tracks on 2 upper loops and 1 lower loop. So then we'll be able to go ahead and test our train out and be able to run it completely around that loop and be able to go in between each of the lines. So with that being said, let's get this work done. So just like as we've done previously, we went ahead and we cut and we fit our track. And we made sure to solder the joints in a staggered fashion so we don't make any kinks in the tracks on the curves. To fasten it down, we're going to use our acrylic latex caulk, spread it around thinly, and then we'll connect the track up and begin positioning it and pinning it down with push pins. We like to use a lot of push pins so we can not only hold it in place, but also ensure that it stays flat while the whole thing's curing up. We move on to the swing bridge and we'll use the same method. We've soldered our joint pieces together and we're going to use a re-railer as we come across off of the lower elevation onto the swing bridge, and then another re-railer at the other end of the swing bridge at that joint. The 2 re-railers at each of the joints really ensures that we don't end up with derailments as we cross across the joints on the swing bridge. Because we're pounding into wood here, we got to use our little ball peen hammer to set those tacks. And then once cured, onto my favorite hobby, I want to remove all these tacks. Looks pretty good having a full loop laid up here now. Oh yeah! Our next step is testing the train out. So it rolls pretty well up and around the curve and on down to the elevation. And then when we hit the swing bridge, we don't have power to it yet, so we got to help it across. Joins up the other side, and again, we have power. So now we just need to bring it up around and onto the peninsula, and we've completed a full loop. This is a great big milestone for us, and we're really excited to be at this point. Here it comes around the last bend. A full lap. How great is this? Now we can get back to focusing on getting the electrical finished up in our next episode.
Well, there you go. We got all that track laid, and we're so excited about it because we finally completed that lower and final loop.
Yeah, that's a big milestone for us because that means we now have 3 complete main lines, 2 on the upper level and 1 running around the lower level, not to mention this big old peninsula on here. So we put our locomotive on the track. We're able to run it all the way around, with the exception on the swing bridge. We haven't got any power to that swing bridge yet. So that means next week, we're going to come in, we're going to put the feeder wires in, and we're going to install a micro switch and put the power to that swing bridge just the same way that we did on the upper levels.
So this means we'll be able to run a train between all of our layers of track, which is going to be amazing.
It's going to be super fun. I can't wait. And that also means we're going to be able to get on to some other things besides track laying. So we're looking forward to that real well. But in the meantime, you guys have a good time working on your layouts and running your trains.
Hit the bell, like, and subscribe so you're notified of our next video.
And we'll see you next time here on Getting Back on Track with Steve
And Roxy. Bye,
Bye
guys.
all.